5 ounces, 5.5 ounces, 8 ounces, 4 ounces. This is what breastfeeding looks like when you're a working mom. Breastfeeding is encouraged. The first thing that happens when you have the baby is the doctor brings the baby up to you and puts her on your breast. So to have her latch and start encouraging breastfeeding from the start. There are so many nutrients and defenses that your body provides. I guess it was a little surprising that that's the first thing that happens, and she's so brand new to the world, but she knew exactly what to do the second they put her on me. If all goes well, the baby starts eating, and that just doesn't happen a lot of the time. Many women have to see lactation consultants to try to figure out how to get the baby to get a good latch, to thrive and start gaining weight in those first few weeks.
The second day after I had my baby, I knew that I was struggling with breastfeeding. She was pretty fussy. I could tell that she was still hungry after she would feed, and I finally asked for them to send the lactation consultant to my room. She checked my baby's latch, and she said that she had a high palate, and compared to my breast size, it was gonna be a struggle for us to find the right combination. On the third day from the hospital, I noticed that my baby had these orange crystals in her diaper. I just knew that it was connected to breastfeeding. I knew that she wasn't getting enough. They had me start her on formula, and that was one of the hardest things I ever had to do in my life. I really started to get depressed about the fact that I couldn't naturally breastfeed her, that I wasn't naturally making enough milk. Part of what helped me get through, and I'm not ashamed to say anymore, is supplementing with formula. When I went back to work, I would start to go through about a can a week of formula, which costs $40 a pop. $40 a can for 64 weeks, that was $25.60 plus tax. And yes, I'm talking about thousands of dollars on formula.
I have to go back to work to provide financially for my baby, and then I also have to provide for her literally with food. And my breast milk is the only thing she eats for 6 months. I probably spent around $500 when I started breastfeeding. Electric pump. Now, if you're lucky enough to have insurance, you might be able to get one for free. If you don't, it'll cost you around $300. Extra bottles, $28. Valves and membranes, $7. Manual pump, around $20 to $30. Replacement tubes, $20. Flanges, $10. Hands-free pumping bustier, $30. Storage bags, $15. Nipple cream, $11. And for me, I have to have double the pumps so that I can have a place to pump at work and at home. So that's double the money. Every time I pump, I have to assemble the pump, take off whatever clothes need to be taken off, put on a special bustier so I can be hands-free and work while I pump for around 15 minutes, store that milk, disassemble the pump, clean and sterilize the parts, and put it all away only to do it all over again in 4 hours. There's a lot of pressure out there that breast is best and you should do it for a year. It's really unreasonable for a lot of women to breastfeed for a whole year, or even at all. If it can be incredibly painful, even for me, and it was a fairly easy experience, but there's a point at the beginning where you really feel like your nipples are gonna fall off. Breastfeeding is a totally normal and beautiful thing, and it should be normal to be able to breastfeed your baby in public.
We're at the restaurant, we're sitting eating, there's an older couple next to us and then a family across from us, and I was just like, gosh, I'm gonna have to feed her. Finally, the moment came and I went to breastfeed her, and I was literally shaking. I was so scared of what people were thinking of me. The family sitting across from me were giving me the glare, and then the older couple turned to me and she said, honey, you feed that baby, and if anybody says anything, I'm gonna take care of it for you. And I just felt so good knowing that I had that support. I'm very proud of the fact that I was able to make it to 16 months with breastfeeding my baby. I really didn't even think I would be able to make it to 3 months. And the bond that we had was just so amazing. To know that I could instantly comfort her through any cry, to know that she would fall asleep so close to me, listening to my heartbeat, to know that her favorite food came from my body.
Breastfeeding costs a lot of time, a lot of effort. There are a lot of logistics to be worked out, not to mention the financial costs. But for me and my daughter, it's this incredible bond that we have, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.